Pod. Welcome
Zeke
back.
And Luth Pod, everybody.
Zeke and Luth, let's go.
We have a phenomenal guest today.
Phenomenal.
The very talented Mr. Reggie Lee. How are you doing today?
What an intro.
Hey,
Was it good? Was it good?
It was fantastic.
Okay.
Especially knowing you, like we worked together for one night.
That's right.
In Bangkok.
That's right.
No.
That's
In
right.
Bangkok,
No,
nice.
it wasn't in Bangkok.
Good
but
times.
we
Not in
definitely,
Bangkok, but
we were actually, I think we were like down, we were in a very, very seedy area that had a warehouse where we created
some industrial
the set.
park in
Yes.
Reseda.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I was like, wait, why are we going all the way over here? And that's the way, that was the way those indie films, they get rent out a warehouse and then they build all the sets.
How many years ago was that?
Oh man, let's see.
Right?
So that was my first round of sobriety. My painstaking 2.5 years before I lost it. So I had only about a year and a half, I think. So that was probably 10 years ago.
Then you met Reggie and we're like, oh, screw this.
That's what
Everything's terrible. I need to go back to drinking.
Exactly. I'm so sorry. I'm so freaking sorry. No, but dude, I seriously, congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
That's not an easy thing, and takes a lot.
Thanks, buddy.
So,
Yeah, man. Well, we're so happy to have you here because I was so excited. Because we worked on the first movie we worked on was a movie called Behind the Walls, which is a horror film,
dude.
and then we did the other one, Disappearance.
But did I ever see you on Behind the Walls?
You did for one scene.
one
It was the dinner scene.
Okay, yeah. I remember.
And it was
like,
yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Did
what?
you-
I have to tell me
Did you
more.
include me in this conversation?
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Jeez.
Well, so that was the first one. The other one we shot.
Wait. So 2 films you guys worked on together.
It was 2 films.
2 films.
Two
Okay, okay.
films. The one that he remembers is called Disappearance. It was a thriller that Matt and I, Matt Shapiro, we wrote a film called Disappearance, and we wrote it for him. We wrote the role of this detective.
For Reggie.
Yeah, for
okay,
Reggie.
nice.
And we were so excited. We had you for, I think, 2 days, and you stuck around for 14 hours a day.
Did I?
Shooting like...
Again, no memory.
Just
He said, I never would have agreed to that.
15
There was so much. There was so much in there.
There was so much
that it was like,
dialogue.
oh shit.
Oh no! I remember going, man. I don't know about all this, man. This seems like a lot to try to fit
That
in
film
these
was
days.
loopy, but it's out. It's out.
It's out. Yeah, so it's out.
I see it all the time. I mean, not see it, but I see
you
it
see the-
being like advertised. You know?
Yeah, it ended up finding a nice little audience, and then the one we met on was called Behind the Walls.
Yeah,
Which was
Now I
a
remember
horror
that.
film.
What was behind the walls?
There was nothing behind the walls.
Oh, okay.
Look, it looked great, and there was a lot of potential for it. And then, something happened. I don't know what happened.
No, but this is. I
No,
commend
whatever.
you on like just getting at it. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, you're like half my age, and it's like you've written 2 films and directed and done all that stuff, and I'm like,
Big move.
I want to direct someday.
Nah,
when I'm
someday.
100.
But you know what it is though is that Reggie has consistently succeeded as an actor.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing.
Consistently.
Every year, I've never seen someone have such a cool career. Like every time I'll look and I'll see an article, it's like Reggie Lee is a series regular, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
He's out here getting the job
It's,
done.
like,
it's not
again?
that. It's not like that.
It looks
Danny.
better. It looks better on the
looks
outside
better
looking
on
in.
Instagram.
It looks better
It's
on
like anyone's
Instagram.
life, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
much
yeah.
better here than what it really looks like.
You know what? That's what Instagram. That's what I would do. That's why when I took photos, I would always take them like this. Better be like I'd be
Dude,
like
yeah.
40 pounds heavier. You've got to try to angle it correctly because if not, it literally looks like from here down.
Get one of those filters to fix it.
Yeah,
There's a
listen.
problem.
I have a friend. I'm not going to name these names, but
of course.
they're on a major prime series.
Sure.
With a major star,
Sure.
and they're probably number 2 on the call sheet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know what that means, but the higher, pretty much next to the lead.
Yeah.
So,
totally.
and I'm like, hey, so everyone's like knocking at your door, right, to get you a job and offers and water.
Is there water? Yeah, there it is.
go.
And they're like, I just said that.
It's a little dry on the Zeke and Luth set today, guys. The air is a little.
That's right. That the AC is
and they're
strong.
like, hell no.
Hey,
I had to
Really?
fight to get a recurring role on this one show.
Sure.
That's kind of like where we are right now in this industry. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like where I felt I was the entire time being a minority. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to fight
Yeah.
for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to fight even to be a series regular. Like there was one, I mean, seriously, there was like one show where I was like, they're using me for 14 episodes a season. I'm still recurring. My agent's like,
yeah,
no,
come
no,
on,
no,
man.
no.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not
Bump
going to
it
work anymore.
Yeah, bump
You
it
know?
up.
And then we had to fight for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm so tangential. I'm going to go on a tangent every single
No,
time.
that's
No,
okay.
but
That's
and
what we're
hard
all
work,
about,
hard work
you know.
pays off. You did stick out through it. Like, were there times where you
Yeah, man.
maybe wanted to back out because you felt like, oh, this isn't for me. I can't survive here.
Was there ever
Well,
times like that?
especially since like some people were made into series regulars before I was, and they did not do 14 episodes.
Right. Of
Doesn't feel-
course.
yeah, doesn't feel good.
And it just
Yeah,
felt like,
yeah.
wah, wah, what happened here? And then you still
Sure.
want to use me, but you're not going to bump me up. But you know what? It ended up being a great experience, incredibly diverse cast, which I
Sure.
really
Yeah.
love.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of forwarded the Asian movement in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form, because I was in a management position, which is not usual. I looked this up, by the way. It was like Asian roles.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are in, like, if you're, say, in an office, not a lot of people are managers. You know, they're usually the workers.
Okay.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's represented on
And
TV.
something's being perpetuated here, and yeah, it has to change, and it has been slowly but
It
surely.
has been.
Yes,
Let's see if it sticks. Because
Yeah.
I think the work is kind of, you just got to keep the work going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because once you take your foot off the pedal,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when they start going, you know, and sometimes you're going to take like 2 steps back and then 1 step forward. You know,
Sure.
there's so many
Mhm.
things with that.
Yeah.
And every ethnicity is different.
Yeah.
You know, there's something kind of like within the Asian community. I'm Filipino, and like Filipinos are almost like, you know, you've got things coming from Korea, things winning Oscars coming from Korea,
Wow, yeah.
and
Mhm.
Japanese
Yeah.
things, and you know, Chinese things, and then the Philippines is like, who are they?
Yeah, where's our representation?
Right.
Where's
Yeah.
our representation?
Right.
Yet
Yeah.
the Filipinos are like the second largest Asian American community in the United States.
Wow.
So that's the kind of stuff that is like now, you know, kind of what we're, now that I'm old.
I hear it.
You guys do your great. These are amazing. I
Yeah.
love this podcast. I love this, by the way.
Oh,
I'm so
thank you,
happy
thank
to
you.
be here.
I'm so
and
excited.
meet you.
Hey, nice
You
to meet you,
know,
Reggie. Yeah.
I can tell you how excited I was because I called Daniel. I went, fucking Reggie Lee's gonna come on.
Oh
And
yeah.
he goes,
yeah.
he goes, and Daniel's a very
Talk
like.
to me. Tell me what I said.
No,
He has
I'm
photographic
telling
memory.
You,
Let's
photographic memory. No. He goes, hold on. He always does this because he always knows faces more than names usually. So
Yeah,
he goes
yeah,
and he looks it up and he goes, no fucking way.
God,
This guy?
we don't want
How
him.
the fuck do you know him?
We don't want him, no.
he
What you mean
him?
He immediately goes, how the fuck did you get in touch with him?
Yeah, I was like, you're Hutch Dano.
You're like Hutch Dano,
he's
like,
Reggie
like,
Lee.
this is Reggie Lee. I was like, Zeke and Luth, and then the multiple series regular shows he's been on.
I didn't know who we were gonna be able to pull
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
you know, for the pod. And like you started pulling out these awesome names, but
Yeah.
like yours, like when I was like, what? Because
Oh, come on,
dude,
man.
I have a really deep connection with one of your characters. It was the first time I had a brownie. It was in like 2009, 2010 or
Okay.
something like. Had an edible brownie.
Okay.
And I watched the movie Drag Me to Hell.
Oh shit!
Worst decision.
That's a
Oh, dude.
That's got that might be
Right?
one of the
Bro,
worst.
they
Why?
drugged me to hell
Why
at the
would
end
you
of that
do
movie.
that?
I got sucked into the inferno
Yeah, you
with them,
got
bro.
into-
Nice, man.
But you're the accountant, not accountant character. You're like the bank.
you were
Teller.
I'm always a douchebag.
Yeah, no, and you played it perfectly.
I'm almost
He
always
was-
a douchebag.
he's
And
so
until
good in it.
until Grimm, I was a douchebag
Yeah.
for everything I ever played.
Bruh.
You know, that was fun because it was Sam Raimi.
That's so
You
cool. Yeah.
enjoyed it? Tell me
Yeah.
about that experience, because like, yeah, seeing it in the state that I was in, everything was so much more
Oh,
elevated.
dude.
I love how there was like humor in the horror film too, like in
Right.
little spots.
Well,
Like, it
you know
was-
what? You know what you had too, which
epic.
I loved is you had that thing where you're right. You would play characters. I think where definitely the audience was like, man, why is he being like that towards the main
he could
character?
easily just
But-
helped her out there.
But yeah, but I love it because you would do it with like kind of like a smile, like fuck you, like your
Oh,
character.
yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm a douche.
It
I
was
know I'm a
great.
douche, and
But-
hey,
but
that's
you
life.
can't do a damn thing about it.
Dang.
That was the
Power, bro.
Yeah, I think, you know, really, when someone goes to me, oh, I know someone like that. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like to humanize that kind, even if it's a douchebag.
Sure, of
you
course.
know, but the experience was, I mean, listen, it was Sam Raimi, so there was rehearsal beforehand.
Yep.
Get this.
Yep.
Octavia Spencer was right behind me. Was one of the office workers. If you gotta go back and look at the film. And I love that woman. She is like here's how sweet she is. She's still a friend now, and she's like, oh, this movie's gonna really help you out. I was like, me? No. I mean, this is Alice's movie. This is Justin's movie. But I was like, and then a few years later, she gets the help. Yeah, and I'm like, wow. I said, how are you excited? She goes, I'm fucking nervous.
Wow,
she was, and she's phenomenal. That's amazing.
But So, but Sam, we actually rehearsed for that film. There was a camera rehearsal in that bank a week before.
Wow,
and he planned everything out, how everything was shot. Brilliant man that was kind of collaborative. Sometimes directors are like, here, you got to do it this way. No, I don't want that. I want that. He's like, what do you think about this character? Tell me about what you feel.
Build the vision together.
I mean, my name was Stu Rubin, for Pete's sakes. I was like, okay. So adopted by Jewish parents.
So good
yeah, right. Yeah, where's this coming from? Yeah, okay.
So I, adopted by Jewish parents, and in here, and I'm a douchebag. But it was fun, and it was all those effects and whatnot. But I mean, I think the key is to always, with all those things, is to play them very real, then let him put that all in. Sure. But freaking that garage scene with Laura Raver, where she like bites her cheek. I mean,
gross, man. Gross, but
it was great. But there was a major kind of gross factor, with that particular film. Sure. And so that's Sam.
Coughing up the phlegm, that one scene, bro.
I know.
Oh man, gross, dude.
It was look that movie was one of my favorite. Okay, one, it was so original. Such an original idea. Again, that's what Sam Raimi is known for, Evil Dad, and then the reason why
Spider-Man.
Before Spider-Man, all that. Army of Darkness. I know it's part of the same series, but he's such a cool director. And
have you worked with him?
I have not. No,
have you worked with him, Dan?
Oh no, we run a podcast. We clearly haven't worked with.
Hey, come on! Wait a second.
Don't talk about this
here.
He's like, speak for yourself now.
You're about to talk shit about.
Hey, the truth is the truth. I never worked with the guy. So, I'm just saying. Maybe one day. We're sitting next to Reggie Lee. Maybe one day we'll ascend.
Okay. If anyone wants an ego inflated, just come to this podcast.
You're making me feel like I am the man.
Sunday, let me tell you something. If you think everyone's gotten this treatment, we've had a couple guests where I've just been like, so I've seen a couple things. I don't know what they,
Explain yourself.
Explain yourself to me. No, this is how much of a fan I am of Reggie. Is every time we watch Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Anyone that I'm with that has not watched the movie with me before I go.
Do you become Flaming Dragon?
I immediately. I go.
I am Flaming Dragon.
I worked with him.
I work with him every time. Every time.
If it's someone I don't know, I'm like, I worked with him.
Jeez.
And they're like, what? And I go, yeah. The best line in that whole movie is not the first time you say it. It's the second time you say it. The first time you
on the phone, right?
You go to Matthew McConaughey first. You go, this is Flaming Dragon, Simple Jack is with us now, right? And then all of a sudden, Les Grossman grabs the phone, Tom Cruise's character grabs the phone, and he goes, hello, who is this? And he goes, this is Flaming Dragon.
Oh my God, you even had the pause in there, just like
that. Get so mad. It's one of the best fucking lines because right after that, Tom goes, okay, Flaming Dragon, fuckface. Why don't you take a big step back and literally deflating fuck your own face? Yeah. And your reaction, Reggie goes like this. It's the best scene,
bro. But playing it real enough to believe the moment.
Real with that.
That's so good. Bro. It was so good, and I think that's one of the things about that film. But you always make an impression. You always make an impression. And here's the thing. Look, Daniel knows this about me. I'm a cinephile. I watch films all the time, and so you have just made.
You're also an actor's actor.
I try to be. I really I love it. I do. I love it. I just love films and television. Were the way that I kind of I enjoyed myself. I go to movie marathons. I sit down with people and I go, hey, do you want to watch like the whole first season? Like I'm like I'll block out the whole day. Let's
do you do that?
No. He does. Binge? Like it was always a weird part of our friendship. Yeah. Because it's like like how do I maintain this relationship when I don't really dive into movies and and TV like that? I would pull up to your crib sometimes and you would like offer that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like technical things,
Honesty.
how the CGI works and stuff like that. That's what I'm into. Oh, the lighting that went here, the cinematography. I'm into that. Not really so much films and you know, occupying my time with the watching of it. But he knows filmography, man.
Why
like
do
the
you
back
like
of his
that
hand.
aspect of it so much?
I've always been a technical kind of guy, you know. I've always wanted. My dad used to always tell me turn like waiting time into productive time. So when I see something, I always try to be like, okay, how could I recreate this? Versus enjoying an experience that someone else worked on. I'm like, how can I go work on something and let someone else enjoy it later?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting with Daniel too, because on he's been a series regular on 2 shows. He's done over 130 episodes of television, so he's very, very modest.
I'm out here.
He's very modest, and he is a phenomenal comedic actor. And what's interesting about the technical thing is that he is very technical as an actor. Every bit of his comedy was he had it all planned out.
Hey.
He had each and every moment planned out.
That's good.
That's
good.
It works, you know. I mean, look,
absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't like when I would be like, "Can we watch Lord of the Rings?" And he went, "No,
I'm not gonna spend 4 hours of my day doing that.
4
No.
hours of the day.
We can study how to make it. Maybe.
I'm like, well, okay, but I actually was hoping we'd watch the other 2. Are you out of your fucking
Are you out of
mind?
your fucking mind?
He's like, what? Yeah, no, he would. Yeah, so I think I've gotten Daniel to watch 3 movies, and one of them is the one we produced together.
Yeah.
So 3 movies in the entire time I've known him. I think I've watched maybe 3 films with him.
And this thing that you produce, is it out?
It is. It's called As Certain as Death.
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh,
yes,
Where can I see
please.
it? Where can I find
it? Well, if you like ads, you can go to Tubi TV.
Okay.
If you want to just rent it, it's on Apple,
Any
it's on
TVOD
Amazon,
platform,
TVOD,
Okay.
any of them. But yeah, it was interesting with Daniel too, because Daniel's the reason. You know, I've already talked about it a little bit, but I ended up doing this podcast because Daniel just kind of wouldn't let it go with me. He was like, after we did the Ned's pod, he was like,
he's
hey,
such a great storyteller. I was like, you got to do a podcast,
I was
man.
like, fuck, man. Okay, Krispy Kreme and me are best friends. Like, I don't know about this. This is a bad idea.
Like, I look like a goblin right now. I can't do this.
I look like if Hutch ate a smaller version of Hutch.
Man.
You know, I was like, so I don't know if I want to be on camera every week.
You climbed out of that dark place. You climbed out of that dark place, though.
I did climb out of that. Man,
look at him now. Yeah, clearly. The camera don't lie. You know what I mean?
There's so much salad and sadness to get
salad
here.
And sadness.
You know, salad is only one letter away from sad.
It's just only one letter away.
Sad.
So that's right. That's right.
I mean,
so,
these are the facts.
You're not
These
wrong.
are the facts.
Not wrong. So, but yeah, man. I mean, one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you, but you know what? We always forget. We always forget. We have a segment on this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks thirsty. He was coughing earlier. He's thirsty.
I was really well. If there's anyone who's thirsty to have an entire, you know, it's me. So, on what the fiddly fuck are we drinking today?
Hey.
We have peanut butter old-fashioned soda.
Peanut butter
cane sugar.
Sounds doable this time. Okay.
It sounds doable.
It sounds. We're gonna find
you know
out.
What? Sweet corn sound doable too.
Whoa.
And let me tell
you. Lighter?
Yeah, it's lighter.
You know,
I taught him this really cool trick when he was younger.
I don't know this trick.
And you know, he's a pro at it now. This is great.
Look, there's of the 2 of us, who's drank more beer? Who
You definitely drank more beer.
Taught himself because he didn't have a bottle opener because he was too drunk to find it.
Who taught himself?
Who taught himself?
How to?
It was with the lighter. That's what I was.
You're saying you were struggling that bad? You're like, I gotta open this thing.
Open this drink.
And
I was like, a lighter will work. The pressure is all you need. So this is for you. Wow.
Thank you so much.
So you know a thing or two about pressure, huh?
I do. Look, yeah.
I'm under so much pressure already.
Now, I always preface this because I gotta hold myself.
I'll go find those Pothead
we'll
Studios. I'm sorry.
You know, it's a bad smell. I don't
well,
like it.
Pure cane sugar.
Pure cane sugar. It's pure cane
not
sugar.
that other impure cane sugar.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not impure
It's
cane
that
sugar.
German
Is there
stuff.
a 1, 2, 3 for this?
Yeah, so we all try it now. The good thing is that, and Daniel, why don't you explain the rules a little bit? here?
So the rules are, you know, because Hutch came to me, he's like, hey, we're gonna ingest all this obscure, strange liquid, and
Your
I'm
idea?
like, it was his idea.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm not really down with that. And he's like, you have to do it. And I was like, well, then one caveat, you got to drink the whole thing.
Damn. And I
Damn.
agreed
He's got to
to
drink
it.
the whole thing.
Damn.
I
Not me.
agreed to it, which was, I have to be honest with you, at this point now, drinking what I've drank so far, a mistake.
It's a big mistake. Yeah.
I still love just to, it's.
Your liver. This is probably
Dude,
worse than alcohol.
There's
Also,
no
you're going to
way.
be so gassy for the rest of the podcast.
Gotta be, right?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Oh, absolutely.
Cheers, guys. Get
Cheers
one
to
over there.
everybody. There we go.
We out here.
All right,
All
here we go.
Right, ready?
Let's taste it. What are we thinking?
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Yep. It's like if someone carbonated a Butterfinger.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I know.
Wait a minute. Okay. So first taste,
Yeah,
I disagreed with the bad. Hold
Okay,
on.
you like it. You
Yeah,
like
hold
it.
on.
It's really quite doable, Hutch. Hold on.
Hold on.
Quite doable.
This tastes like the
Yeah,
glaze
okay.
on a
Ooh.
Krispy Kreme. If anyone knows glaze on a Krispy Kreme, it's
A
me.
stale Krispy Kreme.
Oh,
stale,
glaze on
like,
glaze.
Yeah,
Right? It does not taste like peanut butter. Actually,
It
tastes
doesn't
like
taste
glaze.
like
It
peanut
tastes like
butter.
glaze.
Yeah.
It tastes like
It
glaze.
tastes like
Yeah.
sugar glaze.
sugar glaze.
I know because I just had a Krispy Kreme.
Did you have a Krispy
It's like,
Kreme
I
over
know
there?
very well.
I can't have any of those until the end of the shoot, man. I'm like looking at him going longingly.
This is quite good for a
I
Sunday
could taste
morning.
this
Listen,
in a root beer float. I could taste it, but there is like some type of like cardboard fart-esque taste.
Yeah.
at the front of
Why
it,
did you have to add that though?
because that's what I'm tasting.
Yeah, but now that's gonna be in my. I'm gonna like as I drink. I'm gonna go fart.
Is that
Like
what-
that's not like why like of all the words to use. You could use.
I feel like
something
it's
else.
sugar on the front end and then peanut butter on the final end. But the final end is, I think, what you're thinking about. That's like a fart.
I know. I feel
It's
it.
a little rubbery.
It is. It's a little
Yeah,
rubber.
yeah. There's something in
It's a
there.
little. It's got this 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 is the other one that had this was the ranch, but there's a saltiness to the end of it. There's a bit of a saltiness.
Okay. See, I would have
at the
loved a
end.
bit of saltiness to this. I mean, the sugar and the salt would have been good.
This doesn't
know?
feel. Yeah, but see, it's the bad kind of salt.
I don't hate this one. I'm not gonna drink the rest
Okay,
of it, but
you're
I don't hate it.
I feel like there were other choices, folks, and this is
there was.
I actually chose this. Have you ever like juiced stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one I went on this kind of like juice fast and celery. Have you ever juiced just celery?
Just celery?
It's like fucking
I'm not.
tires
I have.
screeching
I
in
have.
your throat.
Oh,
I
It's
what?
like rubber.
I have.
Dang.
It's horrible.
It's
Really?
yeah.
Do you want to know?
bad.
Do you want to know what I used to do in the very first year of self-inflicted poverty?
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted
Yeah.
poverty.
There's a difference.
There's a story behind that.
Yes.
now.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
then-
There's definitely
Too many stories.
you
There's
know?
there's a lot of not checking the bank account, a lot of spending money where I shouldn't have, and a lot of different things being ingested. That
Hey.
would definitely be
Okay.
the
Hey.
three. But in the first year of the painstaking to get to the sobriety,
Yeah.
I was trying to be healthy, but I didn't know what that meant because you're unhealthy for a pretty long period of time. And I was like, you know what? I want to try to do this in a way where I'm not spending a lot, which trying to be healthy and not spend a lot, they don't really go together.
Especially in LA.
Especially in
Where
LA.
you have a trainer that's $500 an hour?
Yeah. No. So get this. This is. I'm ashamed to say this. I'm a bit ashamed, but you know what? I think it needs to be said, which is, so I had a NutriBullet, right? And I was like, okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna do.
Wait, is it the one that
smoothies.
you press down and
Yeah, you press down and it just destroys whatever's in there.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, well, I definitely don't want to spend money on like fresh vegetables or fresh fruit.
And all that organic crap.
You know,
no,
so yeah, it was like all organic,
upcharge.
and it was like way too much money, and I was pulling in $0. So I was just like, this is probably
It's not gonna
try to
stretch
stay
too far.
away from anything that's really expensive. And so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blend up frozen vegetables, and I'm gonna drink them.
That's a new one.
So what I did was, you
It's
know,
gonna be like a shake now.
like
it's gonna
a
be
shake.
like a frozen shake.
like a
That's-
shake.
That makes sense. That's resourceful.
Yeah. You know what? It makes a lot of sense till you try it, and then you realize these aren't supposed to be blended. There's nothing about carrots and green beans and peas that are supposed to be blended into a smoothie. And
I gotta try it.
look, I'll make it for you.
That's like
I am the master of it. If you would like me to try,
what did it taste like?
it tasted like if someone took a bunch of frozen vegetables and water and decided that that was enough for a smoothie. And that's what I did. And I'm like doing, I think I put in, you know what I did? I had one thing, I put a banana in there. with it.
Okay,
Because I was trying to
that's
like,
where you
okay.
messed up at.
I was gonna
though.
say you got like a gazpacho soup right
Yeah,
now.
you're right. I'm saying,
Right,
like,
I don't know. I'm telling you, look, this was a
lumpy
total
mesh.
mistake. The amount of if I were to look at life and go, okay, how many mistakes have been made? Okay, and if I had to like, if I, but that's everybody I know.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this
That's
was one that I
constantly.
could have definitely avoided this one.
Okay.
Like no one said, hey, Hutch, you should blend the springtime selection of frozen vegetables and then drink it as a smoothie. No one said that. So it was all on me.
Hey,
So
The
that's
real life of actors.
That's
Right.
real life
Oh,
of
yeah,
actors.
yeah,
This
that's
is
it.
how we
Yeah.
survive.
That's
Yeah.
how we survive. Is
wear it like a badge of honor, man.
That's right. That's it.
The ups and downs.
So that's why these sodas don't usually bother me that much because the other things
But
that
you've
I've
had worse. You had worse.
I've had
Yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had. You want to know one of the
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, you're gonna drink. You're gonna
And,
drink
oh
that?
my
All
God,
right.
another sip.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a little gassy now, but that's okay.
Hey, you at least you don't have to finish it. That's a lucky thing.
I know, but
Yeah.
I like the sugar.
It's the sugar. Hey, it
love
works.
how
Right,
can
why
you
not?
not love sugar? It's impossible not to love it. in my
These are one
opinion.
of those things though that I found, and it's hard because I love desserts so much.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you got to take sugar out of your diet.
Uh,
I tried the
Oh, I know.
paleo thing. I mean, I'm kind of on the edge of paleo
Okay.
all the time, you
Sure.
know. But sometimes I gotta have that donut.
How
Yeah,
can
it's
you
like I'm
not?
paleo adjacent.
I'm paleo adjacent, completely paleo adjacent.
Have you ever done keto?
Yes.
What do you think
Keto.
of it? Because I did it too for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole fat to because you can
Like you burn the fat
Yeah,
based off eating
all-
so
all
much
that
fat.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like the paleo a little better
Sure.
than
Sure.
the keto. I don't know. Maybe for all intents and purposes are all the same unless you take everything away. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
I have
right.
done that Whole 30. Have you guys done the Whole 30?
Whole 30? No, what's that?
The Whole
That's a
30?
really like before you start paleo or keto, you just cleanse everything. You take everything out. Everything, sugar, dairy.
What do you eat?
You basically, I think it was just like proteins and just simple, not simple, no complex carbs. So no,
Okay, got
you.
no, I'll take out all the grains, take out all that. It's basically just meat and vegetables.
Meats.
Yeah.
Well,
Got you.
You know, that's it. Not
Yeah.
frozen vegetables, Hutch.
I was about to say. I was like,
now-
bringing
now-
me back to a terrible time
the
already.
steak.
Now, the
And the frozen
keto
vegetables.
diet, that's where you're just only eating taquitos from morning till the end
The
of the day.
keto diet?
That's like a mess. It's like body
I
goes
love
into ketosis.
taquitos.
I'm joking.
How can you not love
Taquitos.
taquitos?
I love taquitos.
Well, Trader Joe's
Exactly.
ones are so good.
Trader Joe's
Yeah.
that's like as an actor in LA,
Yeah.
it's like this is where you get good produce for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, you have lots and good
Yeah.
wine.
Oh, some good wines.
You're
Yeah,
not
yeah. My
bad.
mom likes the red wines from they're from
Okay.
Trader
I was
Joe's,
more
yeah.
of a CVS discount bin guy, but
Dude.
The extra care card.
Yeah,
The
right.
extra care-
Always, it's always coming through.
Extra care.
Real extra care.
Seagram's
Hey.
sweet tea vodka,
Okay.
I think single-handedly took me down.
that was the end. That was the
That
beginning
might
of
have
the
been
end
the
right
end.
there.
Sweet tea Seagram's vodka. In a
Bro.
plastic
Wow.
bottle that if you tossed it right now, it would
Yeah.
bounce like a fucking basketball.
Dang,
That's
bro.
how good the
It's
plastic
plastic
was.
bottles are the worst, man.
Oh, yeah?
I think we've talked about it,
We
but
have
that
the plastic.
you'll
gets
never
into
wake up with it. Y'all don't care if it's just
Yeah.
one shot, man. That's rubbing alcohol and that stuff, man.
Well, but that's what Look, eventually, look.
It's
At
microplastics?
the time, I was looking for a deal.
yeah.
I was looking for
And you got
longevity.
a deal with the devil.
I love your deal making ways.
Oh, he's a
You know,
gambler. He's ever the
yeah,
gambler.
Yeah, I
Remember
try.
coupons? Did you guys ever do coupons? You're too young.
I
You're
don't
like
know.
too young.
Yeah,
to do-
no, I did
I don't
coupons.
remember
I
coupons.
had an aunt.
Oh no,
I had an aunt who would kill the coupon game. She
Dude, yeah,
she
the
actually
coupon game.
Yeah.
dude, the coupon game. Yeah, she actually happened to be Filipino. My aunt Iris, God rest her soul.
Aw.
She meant so much to me. She passed earlier this year,
Oh, I'm sorry.
like maybe like three weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful
Bless her
woman, such a beautiful woman. And she used to, she loved couponing, and she would do. She stayed with our family for a while. We had stayed with her family, and that's just something that brought us together. Because I would sit with her and take those scissors and cut up the
shit.
coupons,
yeah.
man.
There you
That's
go.
It was a
Sunday paper?
routine. Yeah.
Where's that coupon section?
Yeah. Get the newspaper. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go get the
Double
newspaper and come in.
coupons?
And,
No. I'm telling
I
you.
mean-
Well, the coupon game still exists.
Yeah.
It just exists in digital form.
It's internet. It's internet
so
now.
You got
Yeah,
you can scan all the, like, as you walk around the store, they go, digital offer if you scan it, and most people won't do it. I don't know why.
I will take that time. I will stand here in the line while I'm ordering, and I will. What is it? Okay, I'm gonna go on
so
there.
I've got one. I've got one where this one brand of coffee was $2.99 per bag, and it was a really nice brand of coffee, but it was a flavor that I think hadn't done well, which is why they put it on, and of course I'm going, look, caffeine's caffeine. Okay, whether it's peppermint flavored, pumpkin flavored, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just gonna get so I got all of them. I got 9 of them, all 9. I cleared them out, and then I put them on the conveyor belt, and they scan as $6.99. Right, and there's a long line behind me. Right, there's a long line behind me, and I go, I'm sorry, miss, that's not correct. This should be $2.99. She goes, well, where did you get it? I go, I got it in that aisle. So she goes over, and then she goes, there's none available with the $2.99. I went, yeah, because I grabbed all of them. It's the one where there's none left.
I got them.
And she goes, well, how do I know that's the one? I went, well, it's written right there. And she goes, well, I have to grab a manager. And the person behind me is like, and I'm like,
of course.
I go, okay, go ahead. So it takes like an extra 5 minutes. Come over and goes, sir, I actually think there might have been an error. And I go, this is where, so I go from being polite to very much like my eyes kind of turn a little bit cold, and I go like this, and my mom does it too, and it's with a smile. I go, no, there's no error. That's what it says over there.
Yeah,
it says $2.99.
Yeah. And this is where you had it.
And I was like, so anyway. Even with the long line behind me, I will take the if there's a deal to be had. And it's advertised. I'm sorry. Look, I know that you want your strawberries. Like, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna get my deal. Oh,
I love you, Hutch Dano.
So I had to.
I love you. That's
he's a real one.
That's my people right there.
That's why. Like, how can you not? Like, you want me to be
Filipinos too. Filipinos very much, save.
Yeah. Because why spend? Why be wasteful? Everybody. But she instilled that in me. Like, my mom would do a lot of couponing too, so they had their like little thing together.
What?
But she was locked in.
Wait.
It's like a thing, and you got to do the shimmy with it. They do their little thing,
Wait.
With couponing,
you're not gonna, look, to quote the great Kevin Hart, we're not gonna blow past that. Like, you didn't just
like you didn't just shimmy. Yeah, for our audio listeners, I'm in here shimmy.
Was she a shopping cart?
Yeah, I think it was. It was like, so we got to get to the savings.
Because Daniel, I know for a fact, knowing you, that if I was like, me and my mom would go shoe shopping.
I'm gonna clown you. I'm gonna clown you immediately. Yes.
Oh.
So okay, all right.
I know we went to couponing, but shoe shop, you guys, you have to look at these guys' shoes because their shoe game is strong.
Dude, no, this guy, Hutch got some Versace's on. Versace Medusa head on me. Like,
look, but I get my shoes in crazy places.
Oh, you get deals even on the shoes.
I always. Yeah. I try to. So I got these at an auction.
Hey, tell me about
it. It was an auction, and there was I think if I remember correctly, it was some sort of store that was high end, that was like they'd had to clear out all their inventory, so it all went to this auction site.
Okay,
and so that's how I was able to get these. Now, the thing is, when someone tells me, "Hey, these shoes are $1,200," I go,
you out of your fucking mind?
I go, for fucking what?
Yeah.
And they go, well, for the brand. And by the way, I love Versace. I love the brand. But if I can't get a deal on it, I walk around and I'm like, you should have waited for a deal. You should have waited for a deal.
And it hurts.
You didn't wait for a deal. So here you are. You're scuffing up these brand new $1,200 shoes. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I don't mind wearing these and kind of beating them up is because I only paid $60.
Mm-hmm. See, that's like the psychological version of that. Now you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be fashionable, and I can scuff them up
that part because they're only $6.
Because I'm
a winner.
It doesn't matter what happens.
My kick around shoes.
Yeah, that's exact. It's right.
Shoes.
That's right,
dude. Hutch, like my boots. I like these bad boys. You were the first person to get me to wear boots. Now back in Mississippi, I wear like cowboy boots and stuff like that. But
really.
In Mississippi, the cowboy boots, man, it's like a thing. Snakeskin boots, that's huge for us back in Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah. But they're kick around shoes when you're like working and stuff. When I got out to Cali though, I was always wearing like skate shoes. We were on a skateboarding show together, so I was always.
Yes, I know.
He's like, I know a little bit. But when I got out to Cali, bro, you were the first person to like put me up on some boot game. During Zeke and Luther, you had cold kicks, bro.
I appreciate you.
Wow, much since then.
Bro, trendsetter.
Do you want to know why I actually ended up liking boots?
Talk to me.
It's because of Bender in The Breakfast Club. Judd Nelson's character in The Breakfast Club has these beat up boots on. And all I wanted was to be a tortured teenager who had like way more, like I was from Santa Monica, okay? I wasn't repping a damn thing.
It makes sense.
So I was like, man, if I just, beat up boots from like, like these, like I'll look a little bit more, grungy, a little bit more. Yeah. So that's actually
especially in those pink pants that you would always wear. Yeah.
Son of a
he's like, let me put these rugged things on. Make me look.
That never happened together.
Wait, was that in real life or was that on the show?
Real life. No, real life.
Are we telling this story again,
bro? He's a daredevil since he was a baby. He just wanted to challenge people.
Hey, that's
challenging norms.
It's fashion.
What happened was that I decided one day that I wanted to wear colored pants. And so I wore red and purple, and that was fine. People made fun of me, but it wasn't that bad. And then I went to Goodwill, and I found a pair of Pepto-Bismol dyed jeans.
Okay.
Straight leg that I wore with John Varvatos black, like Converse. And my mom, as I literally like a movie goes, as I'm trying to get out of the car, she goes, Hutch, I'll take you home and you can change right now.
You got one more chance.
You do not have to do this. Like, don't do this. She goes, please, I promise you, it's not worth what you're gonna
your little heartbreak,
right? And I go, Mom, it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm this cocky little shit. I'm like, it's fine. No one's gonna upset me. I get back in the car
after
3 o'clock, when she picks me up, and I just come in and I just go, hi, Mom. And she goes, how'd it go? And I go, people were just, and I just started bawling.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, and she goes, honey, I want to feel bad for you, but like, you did that.
You knew what you signed up for.
Yeah. And I'm like, so definitely, but he's mentioning that because he thinks, one, I never wore boots with Pepto-Bismol jeans. That didn't happen.
Oh, you just wore the Pepto-Bismols by themselves.
Yeah, by themselves.
Oh, yeah, you deserved getting laughed at. well, of course. No, if you had the boots, they would have been like, hey,
that's a good look right there. No,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that's So that's, thank you. I'm so glad I've told that story twice now, by the way.
I'm so glad I was privy to that story.
Everyone needs to hear it. Dude. And I think it does give people a little bit of backstory on the personality that you have. Because I feel like you've always tried to like break barriers. Oh, they said I can't do this, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. And of course that got dangerous when we were in
that's
teen years.
Kind of that Ghost Rider thing. It's like, I'm gonna take this curse and use it against you. Well, it was a curse.
Have you always been like that? Like since a kid, since you were little?
I think so. I told my mom I didn't want to go to college when I was in like third grade. Third grade.
Literally, but that's all right.
I was like sitting in class and I was like, and someone mentioned, I think one of the teachers was talking about college, and I went, no fucking way. You're telling me how long do I have to be here? And my mom was like, 12th grade. I go, so 9 years? 9 years I have to come here? He goes, well, no, you're going to go to middle school and then you go to high school. I went, okay. What about after? Well, there's college. I go, yeah, but is that
mandatory?
Do I have to go? And she goes, no, it's optional. And I went, good. And then I like walked away. And my mom was like, she said it at the time. She goes, I really thought that was like just, maybe you were having, but you stuck to it every year.
Your mom sounds like a really sweet mom.
She was the best.
Like that is not a Filipino mom, right there.
Oh no, that is not like what?
Tough love. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I will say this though. My mom was like, eventually, she went. All right, look, the acting thing. She said we can pursue it, but you have to show me that you want to do it. And so I had to have like multiple years of like going to acting class at school.
How old were you when you started this?
I started trying to get an agent when I was 12.
Okay.
Wow. So when I was 12, and it took me till I was 15 to get one. And so I would go to Q&As and hand out like my picture and resume to like Samuel L. Jackson and to like Simon Pegg.
That's a good start.
And And I know I really tried to like, and I thought handing a picture and a resume somehow would equal, like they'd look at my photo and be like, wow, I have to get this kid an agent.
That's our guy.
But that's
can I ask what was on your resume at that time?
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was a bunch. I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of like, oh, I've done the Wizard of Oz.
I like drawing.
I really like to surf.
There you go.
I can,
special skills.
Yeah, these special skills. But as far as like what I had done, it was a pretty bare landscape. There was really nothing. Pretty blank.
But, your calling card was that picture.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Look at this dude.
And then
We got to have him.
and then it didn't work. It didn't work at all. I didn't get one phone call from anybody for like 3 years. And then finally, my friend goes, "Hey, you know my mom's a writer." And I go, "Are you
All this
time.
time.
You've watched me get ridiculed with pink pants. You've watched me go to every Q&A in LA, run up to these people and give them my picture resume." He was one of my closest friends. I go, "Why didn't you tell me?" He goes, "I just didn't think it really mattered." I went, "Well, what movies has she written?" He goes, "Well, her biggest hit is, you ever heard of Mrs. Doubtfire?" And I went, "Have I fucking heard of Mrs. Doubtfire?" I go, "Yes, I've heard of what?" I'm like, I was so mad, and then that's how I ended up getting an agent. Was I called her.
That's wild.
Are you still friends with this person?
I am still friends to this day.
Wow,
Nice.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing. Daniel, when did you start acting?
Ooh, so my
In your
acting
cowboy
career,
boots.
yeah, in my
in
cowboy
the
boots.
cowboy
No,
boots.
but actually, my family, my older brother. So my mom was shy. A little backstory: my mom was shy. Never wanted her kids to be shy. She started putting my older brother and sister in these community plays. I was maybe like 6 at the time when they're doing these plays and stuff. And my brother booked this film that they were shooting in Mississippi. They just so happened to be shooting a 20th Century Fox film called My Dog Skip. And they needed someone to play the best friend of Frankie Muniz in the project. And this casting director, Francine Thomas, had seen my brother in one of those stage plays at a local church, that my mom had put him in.
Wow.
And she was like, "Yeah, we'd like for him to audition for the role." We didn't even know what an audition really was, because Hollywood's so far removed from Mississippi.
Yeah.
But he auditioned, and I want to say maybe 5 months later, they're like, "Yo, you got the role."
Wow.
We're gonna be filming.
5 months?
5 months later,
Your
man.
brother got the role.
He ended up getting the role, a kid who had
Wow.
just done community plays. And
amazing.
he booked it, and he did other stuff in the South, and I would just go be an extra sometimes to just tag along and be on sets. But I was never interested really in acting. I always loved storytelling and performing, but acting, I was never sitting there I want to be on TV. But my family,
Not like Hutch and I.
right?
I was like,
I like that.
I want to be on TV. I was like, look, third grade, I was like, it's my
I want it
only
to be about
option.
me.
Exactly.
But so my family then ended up moving. My dad was a truck driver, so he had done cross country
That's a job
trips.
right there.
Oh,
Ooh.
soup. Yeah, it's a
They're
real
gone
job.
for a bit.
Yeah, takes you away from your family a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, but when my dad was there, he was so there. Oh man, I love my dad so much. But he was like, "Hey, babe," to my mom, "we can move out here. You're a teacher. We can find you a new job out there, and we can really give this kid a chance if this is what he
Wow.
wants to pursue."
Wow.
So we uprooted. Kept the property and everything, but we uprooted, moved out to Cali, and started going on these auditions. But I would have to sit in the car driving hours to go do something, and I wouldn't even be able to get anything out of it. I'm just there for my brother.
Sure.
And then I started just trying to go into the audition because I was studying the lines with them, reading them. I was
You're
like,
there
"Yo,
anyway.
yeah, I want to make something out of it." And one day we go to this audition with Ice Cube. Ice Cube is doing Friday After Next. It was the
Love
third
that
installment
movie.
to the Friday series.
Love that movie.
And my brother had auditioned.
Cinephile.
It's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Oh, yeah, speak Cat Williams. Man, Cat
Dude,
Williams is
Cat
having a
Williams,
great
dude,
year.
And by the way, I didn't know Daniel hadn't told me about
2024?
that. So when I
There you
saw
go.
Friday After Next, I was like, "Son of a bitch! No
noticed
way! What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, everyone gets to be in my
Wow.
favorite movies,
Yeah.
but me."
But yeah,
Everyone gets to be in.
except for me. But Cube came out and he was like, that kid, let's try him. I don't think we found the people yet. This kid.
Yeah,
So I go in there, I do the audition, and
that's
You know,
fucking awesome.
The rest is history.
the rest is history.
history.
Bad boy number 2. You got a number after your name, you're not really popping like that. But I'll
Bad
take
boy
it.
number 2.
Bad boy number 2.
man.
Yep. But I was there. I was
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's awesome.
That's how I got in. Yeah. And I was maybe 11. Wait, no. 10, 11 at the time. Yeah. And then 2 years later, I booked my first starring role.
Is that
Ned's Declassified.
That's Ned's.
Yeah,
Oh
Cookie.
wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This
didn't
is
know that
always
yeah.
fascinating to
Yeah.
me when you're starting out as a kid, because it's seeing you guys here now and you're still in it and doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's not easy, guys. So it really is for you to be here and to have accomplished everything you've accomplished. Pretty freaking amazing.
Oh,
It's
Thank you, Doc.
great. And to be
Thank you.
here with you guys doing this, your own thing, which is what you're
Thank you,
supposed
man.
it's what you're supposed to be doing.
Hey, Man,
Well.
yeah, try not to sit next to the phone waiting for a call as much.
I hate
Wait
waiting
for a freaking phone call.
Yeah.
I hate waiting.
I hate it.
I hate it. I hate it so much to the point where
Cheers. I hate it almost as much as I hate these drinks you keep giving me, Hutch. What in the fiddly fuck?
So
I
now,
drank the whole thing. Okay, so I don't
You
want to
did
hear
your job. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, it's your
I
job.
did drink the
Do your job.
do
It's the
your
least you could do.
job
Exactly,
right
okay.
now. It's part
when
of
you
it.
guys now, did you hit it off right away on set? Like friends?
We did actually. We actually hung out. He was one of the only people that I hung out with after we shot the pilot.
Uh-huh.
And he made, he
Oh
made.
yeah,
he
how
made the
long did we
effort.
have after the pilot?
We had like
That
a
waiting
good
time.
year.
Yeah, it was like a year. No, we would hang out a lot, bro.
Yeah,
I would
we
come,
hung
I
out
would
a
come
lot.
stay
You
at
would-
your crib.
You
we play like Halo,
bro,
and
we'd play Halo.
he taught me how to surf in that time
Yes,
too.
yes, he taught him
And I
to
tried
run.
to teach you how to skate a little bit better.
And I
but
went, no, I'm all right.
yeah.
Then he went, but you're playing a skater. I went, I'm playing
And I'll keep
a
playing.
skater. I was
Yeah.
like, that's what's cool about this. Is what I want about being an actor.
You're like,
okay?
I'm an actor.
I get to be the awesome, like, yeah, I want to go in and like fight the bad guys, but I want to know if I win or lose.
Right.
Do I win or lose? Like,
Where's my stunt double?
no, where is
That
he?
part.
Oh,
That was
Where's
his
my
biggest
stunt skater?
phrase.
I went like this. I went, am I crafty? I can go to crafty. So,
Oh, yeah.
So we're going. So
How long do I have?
How long do I have?
Couple
Like,
hours.
Couple
Bruh.
hours. Yeah, no, that was.
And
yeah.
you, Reggie, though, your start. Before we close, I guess, what was your first role? Was it like independent stuff or?
I
How
think
did
the first, before all this stuff, I did like stage stuff. So it was,
Oh,
I
stage,
did some Broadway stuff, and then came here when I decided I wanted a pension.
Oh well, eh.
So I was like, I think I got to leave the stage behind for a little bit because I want to retire someday
Sure.
and have
Yeah.
some money.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
came here, but I think the first big thing was the first Fast and Furious.
Hmm.
And I went through after that, I went through like maybe 10 years of playing bad guys. It was all like a gang
That's
leader.
right.
That's crazy.
But the
Throwback.
first Fast and Furious.
Are you? And let me and just to because I think
To
I
refresh,
remember. I
yeah.
haven't seen Fast and Furious, the first one, in so long.
Dude,
but you were one of on the motorcycles.
Yes. So
Yes.
Rick Yoon and
Yes.
I, my name was Lance Wen. On that, we played cousins, and we were the main bad guys for Vin and Paul.
And so it was
So-
Rick Yoon and you who shot the AKs at them, right?
Yes, that was the first day of
That's
shooting.
Yes.
crazy,
The
yo.
first day of shooting, I literally was like taking motorcycle lessons for myself.
That's
And then I get
fucking
there, and
awesome.
then they put like my handlebars on a truck bed, and the camera right here.
Of course,
And those AKs were so heavy, dude. And they wanted, shoot like this, like gang style, which no
It's
one
like my
shoots like
shoulders. I
that.
haven't been doing my shoulder exercises.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this really heavy.
The gun is angled down the whole
Yeah.
time.
That was the first shot
That is
in
fucking
Echo
awesome.
Park.
That's
That's
lit.
awesome.
That's the first one. That's the first one that kind of helped
Did
me.
you know it was gonna be so big?
No, none of us knew.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
no
they
one was
spent a lot of
anybody.
money though, right? Because
Yeah.
all the
They
car.
did. I mean, we made 40 million. I think it's first weekend, which is a lot
Yeah.
for back then.
Yeah, especially.
I mean, now it's crazy. I just did I did a Fast and the Furious podcast recently.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're having all that,
I gotta
like
check it out.
everyone's and anyone who's been in the Fast
That's
and the
so
Furious.
fucking
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, that's the first one. That's the
dope.
first one where I kind of would go out and people would go, Lance, and that was weird for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really weird. I'm sure you guys get it too, and that's really weird. But it's
Yeah.
always nice. I can't say it's not nice because it's like no. I mean, it's nice to be
great to be-
recognized.
yeah, why
you know?
not?
It's,
Sure, of
it's,
course.
it's
Your
a weird
work-
thing,
your
but
work,
it's nice.
Yeah.
So and still people from that, and that was 20 years ago, man.
That's
it was like
awesome.
still recognized me
That's
from
dope.
that. I'm like, oof.
Well,
I was a
That's
young
crazy.
well, man, you kick ass, man. We're so happy to
Oh,
have
Yeah,
you.
thanks, bro. It was great kicking it.
I can't believe time is up.
Yeah, it's
Oh
already
yeah, it's up,
right.
man. It's up, man.
What?
For the point where I have
Okay.
people waving, they're like, "Hey,
Hey.
we can keep going, right?" No, but,
Yeah, we'll bring you on for part 2 one of these
Absolutely.
days.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll have
Flaming
you back.
Dragon.
Absolutely, flaming dragon.
Flaming Dragon.
Flaming Dragon.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here,
Hey,
Reggie.
such a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, thanks
Absolute
everybody
pleasure.
for watching the Zeke and Luth pod. Like, subscribe on all the things. We love you.
On all the things.
All the things.